This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230 KCOH.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then. All right, Houston. All right, Harris County. You got me. A tip from me. Talk, inspiration, and prayer here with Gilbert Garcia. Thank you to my studio audience. And we got, this is the first time I'm going to try this. We're going to have like two different sets of guests. So in our first half hour, we're going to talk a lot about the union and about what's going on with the Hilton of Americas, with Unite here. And the second part, we're going to talk a follow-up on Metro and what happened with the board and all the things that they elected to do or not do, and listen to the will of the voters on their budget. But I have two guests of mine today. I have Miss Franchesca Caraballo, who is the president of Unite here, of course, which is the union. And then I have Mr. Brian Garcia, who's been working there at the Hilton of the Americas for a little while. And I want to say thank you all for being on the show. So let me ask y'all real quick. Franchesca, first of all, you look like you could be like my daughter or my granddaughter if I had one. Congratulations on your leadership and all the things that you've accomplished already. Who inspired you to really care about people? Because that's what the unions are. And we've talked a lot about unions. I've had union organizers on my show. I've had Bal Puente. I've had Marty Langton. And we've talked all about the importance of what unions have done. And we all forget, but people died for these sort of rights, whether it was a 5-day work week, whether it's child labor laws, whether it's a minimum wage, whether it was benefits. We didn't have any of that. And so that's what the union has done for America and society. So who got you inspired to do all this?
That's a great question. Well, for me, I'm from Houston. I grew up here, and I was raised by a single parent. I was raised by my grandmother, and I grew up working class, like living check to check, not knowing if we were going to have our lights cut off one day or have food on the table. So I definitely, I grew up very like
humble.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes, right. So, and I didn't know anything about unions. I mean, that's, we don't really learn about those things in our public schools. So I didn't learn about it until I went to college and really started to recognize, like the big differences that there are in our society, that it wasn't our fault necessarily that we were poor,
right.
So once I learned about unions, I'm like, oh, this is where I belong. This is where I feel like, we can come together, beyond like the differences that are put, the barriers that are put between us as people. And this is a place that we can come together for a common cause, a common good. So
when did you join the union?
When did I join? In 2016. So it's been 9 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. I started off as a worker at the Bush Airport. I was a barista there making $9 an hour. Again, living check to check and struggling to get my bills paid and pay my car, take care of my grandma. So my coworkers and I unionized our company.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about this. And, it's staggering today because I really had a lot of the SEIU people on my show. And I love Elsa and all of them. And what's interesting is when they were trying to get their a lot of their efforts organized, et cetera, I went to some of the building owners with them to deliver signatures after hours because I work. And I was amazed. They wouldn't even let us in the building to deliver the signatures. They wouldn't even let us in.
Yeah.
And I just think that is appalling. And what's interesting is here we are talking about there may be somebody worth $1 trillion soon here in the world. $1 trillion. $1 trillion. It's like the wealth disparity in this country has never been greater. Yeah. And you got to ask yourself, even if you had, I don't know, I'm making it up right now, because, when you have $1 billion here and there, you know, what's a billion among friends, right? Especially when you're a trillionaire.
Yeah.
But the point is, $1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even spend that money, right? I mean, how many cars do you need? How many yachts do you need? How many? The point is, we really need to look at some of the people that we need to let them have a chance at the American dream, get them out of poverty and the middle class, which is the bedrock of society, because where the middle class goes is where this country goes. And we always want to unionize to get people to have a pathway to the middle class and have a pathway to the American dream. That's what it's all about. So tell us, what is Unite Here? When people say Unite Here, what workers are those?
Well, we're the Hospitality Workers Union. So, I mean, here in Houston, we represent workers like Brian at the Hilton Americas, across the street at the Marriott Marquis, the food service workers at the George R. Brown Convention Center, the C. Baldwin Hotel is another hotel downtown that we represent. And like I said, I came from the Bush Airport, so we represent the majority of concession workers at the Bush Airport.
Interesting. So how many members are there in the union here in Texas, would you say? Do you have an idea?
In Texas, I want to say it's around 5,000.
5,000. And how many in Houston?
Probably 2,000.
2,000? So the majority are here in Houston.
Majority.
And is Unite Here all over America?
It is, yeah. It's all over the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, no kidding. How wonderful.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that y'all been able to accomplish? I mean, have you been able to get a working wage? Have you had some successes? Tell us about some of those.
Yeah, well, back in I want to say 2021, we were able to pass the living wage at the Bush Airport, where back then we were fighting for the $15, in conjunction with SEIU as well.
Right, I remember.
Yeah. So that took a lot of visits to City Hall, a lot of rallies at the airport, but we eventually got an ordinance signed by Sylvester Turner when
At
he was
15?
mayor. Mm-hmm.
And what was it before that?
I mean, it ran the gamut. Like I said, I was making $9. There was
yep.
people making less than that when I was there as well.
Can you imagine $9 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
If you figure the amount of hours in a year,
Yeah.
workable hours is something like 2,000 or something like that, right? When you do
Yeah.
40 hours a week times roughly 50 weeks a year, 2 weeks vacation, although many of y'all don't even have vacation. But let me keep going for a second. So 2,000, that's $18,000 a year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that compared to some of the owners and some of the management and what they're making? It's amazing. And so now we're at 15.
Well, that was, 4 years
yes.
ago. Yeah. So workers are making a little more than that now, but a lot of contracts are up this year. Hence why the workers are on strike right now at the Hilton. But there are more contracts that are expiring in the coming months, and we're fighting for the same. We're all part of this single fight, right?
Right.
For 23, for a living wage.
Understood. Hold
Yeah.
that thought there.
Yeah.
So, Brian, let me ask you this. Who inspired you to join the union?
So I'm from the Valley. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley. I'm from Brownsville.
Okay, my wife's from Rio Grande City.
Nice. So the county that I grew up in, Cameron County, is one of the poorest counties in the whole country.
Yes.
So I've worked a lot of non-union jobs. I've been, worked hard, and when I got here to Houston, and then I found this job at the Hilton Americas, I started learning more about the union and what it could actually do for the people, and if you actually stand up and fight for what you rightfully deserve. And I see a lot of injustice within my coworkers that have been there for 20 plus years, that really put blood, sweat, and tears into this place, and I think it's long overdue. It's time for a change, for sure.
Wonderful. So let's go through this. Franchesca, what is the issue right now? Let's explain to our listeners. Is a contract due? And it's for the Hilton of Americas. Just go through that so they know what's really going on and what's at stake.
Yeah. So we've been in negotiations with the Hilton Americas since early June. Workers' contract was expired at the end of June, right? We had about 4 or 5 bargaining sessions with the company. We made it very clear. We put a bold proposal on the table for the hourly, not just for the money, but for fair workloads, for fair scheduling.
Well, go through all that for real, if you don't mind. So
Yeah.
where's the average salary now?
Yeah.
And you're striking for what, and what are the number of hours now, and you're trying to ask for this. And just go through all that for those that don't know.
And then I'll have Brian chime in too. 'Cause
Sure,
he's
okay,
actually
Brian.
living it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So the lowest paid hourly worker is at $16.50 right now.
$16.50.
Correct. And we're fighting for a $23 minimum wage for the hourly, right? Right now,
So
obviously.
let's hold that for a second. We're trying to go from roughly 16. I'm going to just round it to 16 so I can do it in my head.
Okay.
And we're trying to go to 23. So that's $7 an hour. That's $280 a week more. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're asking for double or triple.
We're not
gonna
And
do
we
it.
just saw what happened. The county just did for these
Yeah.
these constable or the constables, and I don't know who else. And this is no stone at the constables, but
Right.
the point is, here you're talking about $280.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
Yeah.
want to put it in context,
No,
Houston
yeah.
and Harris County. You go to that won't even get you a ticket to a Taylor Swift concert. I mean, it won't. And that will barely get you, a steak dinner at one of these steak places downtown.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, and thanks for putting that context. I mean, as far as scheduling, I mean, we have, like, for example, the stewarding department. These are the dishwashers, the folks that make sure that we have clean utensils and clean tools to, for Brian to do his job, as a cook. They're only getting 2-3 days a week.
That's how much work they're getting?
That's how much work they're getting. So obviously, if you're making $16.50 and only getting 2-3 days, that's not enough to support yourself, or let alone a family.
And you're going to have a second or even a third job.
Yeah, and a lot of our members do.
You have to.
Yeah, they run to their second job, or some even their third. Fair scheduling and workload. I mean, since the pandemic, we have a lot of members that have spoken out about, like, since the pandemic, the staffing levels have not gone back up to where they were. So
No
people are
kidding.
people
What-
are doing double the work.
What do you think we're down in staffing? I'm making it up. 10%, 20%? You have any idea?
I mean, I can't really. I can give an example, right?
Go ahead.
Like
Give it.
for the laundry department.
Okay.
A lot of the laundry, they're out on strike right now for this exact reason. Before the pandemic, they were working with over 30 laundry attendants. This is a 1,200 room hotel, and today there are only 12 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's 12
Yeah.
doing the work for 1,200 rooms.
Yeah, and most days they only have 6, really.
And it's not only
Tell-
the rooms,
tell us.
It's not only the rooms that they take care of. It's also
Yeah.
like the tablecloths for like the banquet
Right.
events, the uniforms of the employees as well.
Speak up just a teeny bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, the uniforms for the employees as well. They have a very heavy workload, and for us in the kitchen as well, our PM team consists of 5 cooks, and we're running events of up to 3,000, 4,000 people.
Wow.
So it's definitely, the workload is definitely high, and like she was saying about some people not getting their hours. A lot of the time, like, it's I lost my train of thought.
Well, we're just trying. So you're talking about how many cooks there are, because we originally went with how many there are doing the laundry and how much the pandemic that they're not back to full staff.
Yeah.
So that's what you were going through.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have 3,000 people, events, and you're having to cook for all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a super heavy workload. We're definitely doing the job of definitely at least two or three people, and
Each person.
Each person.
Hold that
Exactly.
thought. We have a caller already. Amy, are you there on the line?
Hello?
Amy, are you there?
Hi.
You got me, a tip from me, talk, inspiration, prayer. I'm Gilbert Garcia. We're talking to Unite here. They're on strike for a livable wage. What do you got for us?
Hi. As someone who's not in a union, but supports what you guys are doing, how can we best support you as, like, general members of the public?
There you go. What can the public do to sort of say, yeah, it makes sense?
I mean, well, first and foremost, don't cross the picket line, right? So don't patronize the Hilton Americas. Don't eat. Don't buy anything from there. That's the best thing you can do. We've had a lot of support from the community coming out to walk the picket line with the workers. So that's always a big boost for the workers to see, oh, wow, the community actually cares about us, and they support our fight. We do have like a GoFundMe that is all over our social media pages. That's 100% going to the workers right now, because obviously they're out of work. And so any donation really helps, for them to, October's already coming up. people's rent and bills are due. So that's a big way to support and just spread the word in general. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I think you pretty much touched on everything. Yeah, even coming down to the picket line, walking the picket line. You know, a lot of times we've been out there for 29 days already, so people.
It's been 29 days.
Yeah.
You've been on strike 29 days.
29 days.
Yep.
So people get tired. Obviously, you know, it's human nature. You're gonna get tired. So when we do have groups or people from the public come out, it definitely gives people a boost and that extra push that they need. You know.
Amy, hopefully we answered your question. You have any follow up there for us?
No, I just, again, support what you guys are doing. I think it's great.
Amy, thank you for the call. Call in again. Callers, we're at 832-570-8075. So let's go back to something. The actual, when we say Hilton of the Americas, who's really on the other side of the bargaining? Is it the Houston First? Is it the Hilton, the Hilton USA? I mean, who's on the other side?
Yeah, so we bargain with Hilton. They're at the other side of the table from us, right? But Houston First, which is why we're, applying a lot of public pressure on Houston First right now, is because they're the owners of the property.
That's what I mean. So they're really on the other side.
Yeah.
Houston First.
Right. So, I mean, up to now, they want to say that, that's between the union and the Hilton. But, there's definitely been
But they own the property.
They own the property, exactly. So they have a lot of influence in
well,
what the Hilton does.
they are the other side because they own the property.
Yeah.
And of course, that board is appointed by the mayor. I just want to make sure Houston and Harris County, we're all getting this.
Yeah.
And it's always one of those things where people say, "I don't know, it's not me, it's him, it's her," but really, just get to the bottom line. It's Houston First.
Houston First.
Okay,
correct.
let's keep going.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why, their name has been coming up a lot in the press because we're applying that pressure to them. Like, they could do the right thing and pressure, apply that pressure on the Hilton to do the right thing by the workers because they like to boast about the record profits they're making and how Houston's becoming a destination, a tourist destination. But these are the workers that are making it possible, but yet they are living check to check.
Right.
Right.
Something's not right.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you this. So y'all have been on strike for how many days? 20 what?
29. Yep.
29. And I mean, how are you holding up?
It's
got to be hard. It's going to be terrible.
It's definitely hard, but I mean.
But do you have a family or anything?
Yeah, I have a family.
Just imagine if you have a family, kids, and I mean, it's got to be terrible.
But we have a really strong group. Morale is still pretty high, and it's honestly amazing to see that all these people are really standing together and just being out there every day. Just making their voices heard, it's amazing to see.
It is amazing. Let's keep going for a second, Franchesca. So the whole thing is, what's interesting is you said something interesting. The contract was due in June.
End of June.
Don't normally, if you know the contract's coming due, when did negotiations start? Did they start in April?
We had our first official negotiations early June, like the first week of June.
I mean, why not start much sooner?
Well, we had a lot of prep work to do, right?
I see.
Right, we have to get our membership in line with what are our priorities. This is a 400-person, employee hotel.
Yep.
So it's pretty big. It's the biggest hotel in the city. So so we do have our organization we need to think about and our mobilizing that we need to think about.
And did y'all have to vote to go on strike?
Yes.
And was it overwhelming or?
Yes.
Overwhelming?
Yeah, we had a 99.3%
Come on, that's
authorization.
I mean, and you're still looking for that 0.9% of people. Who was that? That? I mean, come on. When does that happen? Like never.
Yeah, I mean, it just speaks to how this crisis that we're in right now, economic crisis, that speaks volumes. Right?
Yeah, high inflation, high gas, high
the
medical
wages
bills,
are not keeping
groceries.
up.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything's. Well, let's go back for a second. 29 days.
Yep.
Where is this going?
Well, I mean, every day there's, this is like a multi-pronged approach. Like you see us out on the picket line, but there's a lot of things that we've been to City Hall several times. We've gone to Houston First, and this fight, we're really looking at it as like not just the Hilton Americas. This is something where we want to set a new precedent because Houston is no longer a cheap city.
Right.
We've been in negotiations with other companies where they're like, oh, well, Houston's cheap. The workers don't really deserve a living wage. The workers are cheap here, right? And that's not true. It's very insulting.
Right.
So that's why the workers at Hilton Americas decided to make this bold stance. This is the first hotel strike in Texas history.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so this is something historic, and we're looking to change the standards, transform these jobs. These hospitality jobs are what keep this city running, right? And these are essential jobs, but these companies, like you were saying, like the disparity is just so great right now, and workers are living check to check.
Let me ask you this though, and by the way, I know what that's like, and I have family members that's
Yeah.
a lot of my family, they didn't go to college, they don't have a retirement, they don't have paid vacation. I'm their retirement.
Yeah.
That's what we do as Latino families.
Yeah,
As looking at that for a second, Unite here, how many of the members would you say are people of color?
Like 90.
All of
I don't
them?
know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
A
pretty much all
A
of
big
them.
amount, right?
Yeah.
The majority. For
Yeah,
And are
vast majority.
And how many are Hispanic versus African Americans? They're pretty much even or not, or is it just?
It's pretty diverse. That's what's so cool about
Yeah.
this experience. I mean, we have a group of like Somali
Somalis.
workers. We have a group of like Senegalese.
Senegalese.
And then we have people from all over Central America, Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty amazing to see the people come together, despite the language and the culture, the race.
Well, let's go back. So 29 days. Have y'all been meeting every day?
Meeting? I mean,
Meaning at the table every day, you and the leadership, are y'all meeting with them every day? Or is it more of a, well, we're not going to even meet with you?
as far as the company? Okay. Well, there's been off the record conversations. There's been meetings with the company as well. And, you can tell that they're feeling the pressure. All the publicity, all the negative publicity they're getting, that affects them. So there have been negotiations throughout the last 29 days, but obviously they haven't met the workers' demands. So
Have they, I mean, if the union was
Yeah.
here and they were here, have they moved up at all?
little bit. They have moved up a little bit.
Don't tell us anything you can't tell us, right?
right,
If
right.
anything's confidential.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, are they moving? Are they negotiating in good faith?
Well, I think they're getting there because.
Well, they're finding religion right now, right? Am I right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of, groups have pulled out. I mean, I'm sure you saw that the mayor pulled his State of the City address. The Harris County Dems pulled their gala indefinitely, right? And even the mayor was supposed to speak at an event this past weekend, and he didn't go.
Good for the mayor.
Yeah.
Good for the
so,
mayor.
Yeah, that's a big support. They have been moving little by little, but, the workers are stronger, so they're going to stay out until the workers get their demands met.
No kidding. Even if it takes, I'm making it up, 6 months?
Well,
somewhere, I don't know the right word, but the needs of the family become like, I've got to eat.
Yeah.
I got to pay my rent. Now there's a strike fund, I guess.
Yeah, we do have a strike fund, and like I said, that just speaks to how like dire the situation is at the Hilton. That the workers are willing, even though they're struggling as is, they're willing to take this action, right? There are, the union is providing strike benefits, and we're doing what we can to help. But I appreciate the caller asking earlier how they can support. We've been receiving a lot of like GoFundMe. We have a GoFundMe that we've been receiving. Community donations, and that's been going straight to the workers.
And how much has been on the GoFundMe, would you say? How much have you raised?
I think it's around, the last I checked, it was around 16,000.
16,000?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? I tell you what, I feel it, and I don't even know all the ins and outs, but I get it. I'm going to go to GoFundMe. In fact, we're going to do it right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give $1,000 from me personally,
gosh.
Gilbert Garcia. That's right.
Thank you so
Listen, you got to, what do they say? You got to walk the walk. No, you can't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk.
Right.
So I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it. And by the way, we have the World Cup and all these things. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Next year, yeah.
So tell me how to do it real quick. This, by the way, you can tell this was not rehearsed in
No,
Houston and Harris
that-
County, but you
I'm
can see how important this is.
Yes.
Because I look at you and I see my relatives, and I understand that you wouldn't take such drastic measures unless it was important.
Yeah.
right? Unless it mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Am I right?
Yeah, because a lot of people, like, it's definitely a scary thing. You know, it's untouched territory for pretty much everybody out there. You know.
Yeah, because you just want to work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
raise your family.
Exactly.
You're not trying to be a troublemaker. I mean, and I'm not calling it a troublemaker, but you're not trying to get in publicity. You're not trying to do all those things. Let me go. What is the website?
I'm pulling
The
it up.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, it's GoFundMe. I mean, it should say Hilton Workers Strike Fund.
Are you helping me out here?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to send the link. I don't know.
Okay,
if I
send me
can
the
do
link.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
know either, but let's go. We're
I
going to keep
send it
going,
to
Houston,
you?
because I don't know if we're doing it or not, but you know what?
We're gonna
going
do
to keep
it.
trying. We're going to keep trying. And I encourage everyone. So how does one go to GoFundMe?
Oh, there it is. Yes.
Okay, how do I see that's why he's the producer of the show. For those of you who are listening on radio, and of course you'll be seeing it on TV, all of our great stations, and of course those of you that will see it streamed, of course, in social media, of course, after. My producer already put it up there.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
GoFundMe.com.
Go fund
me.com.
me.com.
Sure. And then /forward.
Uh-oh, you already lost me at the slash.
Okay.
Right.
And GoFundMe, you can click in
Confirm? I just hit confirm.
yes.
So
And
now what do I do?
just type support Hilton America's workers.
Under a search?
Yes, sir.
Okay, support Hilton
America's workers.
America.
I also just texted it to you.
Okay, we're going to try this out. Hilton Americas. Okay. There it is. I think I got, okay, so now
Yes.
I see this. I'm going to click this. You can tell we weren't prepared, but you can see how important this is. So I'm going to go to donate, right?
Donate, correct.
Okay, I'm going to donate. All right. So then, where's my? Stay with me, Houston, Harris County, because this is important, and you can tell that it matters to me because I'm fumbling around, but I'm going to get this going. So it now says, how much do you want to do? It says suggested 200. We're going to go more than that. I said 1,000, so I'm doing 1,000.
Wow.
Now, so then it goes to, oh my goodness, credit or debit. All right. Email it, Garcia, Gilbert, last name Garcia. Use as my billing name. Yes. Credit card. Okay, I'm not going to say this on the air. Okay. So then, all right. And postal code, rather. Okay. Don't display my name publicly. I'll go ahead and say display my name because I'm proud of it. GoFundMe tip. Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
I want it to go to you guys. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say okay because is that like a charge that y'all have?
I think it's the GoFundMe. That's the platform.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to pay it because I don't want it to come out of my $1,000. So that means it's $1,165.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? That's okay because it's for the people. All right, let's see if it worked. You got this closer to ta-da! Did I just
Wow.
do it?
Yes, you did.
There you
Thank
go,
so
Houston, Harris
much.
County. All right,
Thank
hold
you
that
so
thought
much.
because we already have a caller. Is there a Linda on the line?
Yes, there is, Gilbert.
Oh,
How
Linda, you
doing
got
today?
me. We're here with Unite here, and I'm talking with
And I
Brian and
certainly-
Franchesca.
Yeah, and I certainly want to not compliment, but congrats. Let me tell you something, baby.
Tell me.
Every day that you protest, that's the victory. Whether you're the only one that shows up, my mother was the only one that showed up to protest at Woolworths 5 and 10 in Queens, New York, and she put me on the back door. Whether you're the only one, every day it's just a victory. I want to say also that what this causes, what Hilton has done, and first, and what has happened with our city organization is that what it has done is it causes just more than one problem. It's not just the money. Here are people that would have moved out of Houston because it's no longer a cheap city. And they're the ones that are strangled here because they're working in those jobs and they can't just jump up and move, change schools to where the children will get physical education, actually get special education. None of that. The only thing they get to do is practice on a STAR test. And that's what that stuff causes. It causes more than just one problem. When they work, as soon as they get a living wage, as soon as that unionized stuff comes out, they come out to break that union, and they're going to hire somebody that has no voice. And what we have to do as a nation of people and workers is keep our voices strong. What is that Hilton executive getting $500,000 for, or $200 million for a year? And you can't throw somebody 10, 15 bucks a month. It's ridiculous. But thank you so much for the protest. Did Community Voices for Public Education go and protest when the teachers were getting their awards at Hilton Americas? Because it's call out, and I'm sorry, I had to pick up grandchildren as always.
Linda, thank you for calling. I always enjoy talking with you.
Okie dokie. Thanks a lot.
Call us back. We got another caller already, and soon I'm going to pivot into our guest about the whole metro and everything else, but Link Houston. But let's go to that caller. Who was that again? There's Barry. Barry, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. You got Gilbert Garcia, tip
Okay.
from me, and you got, of course, Unite here. And we're talking about, frankly, just a livable wage. What do you got for us, Barry?
Okay, there's no question the host is on the side of the workers, but we're not here to paint one side of the devil and one side of the angels. As objectively as possible, can the guest tell us what is the other side's counter argument to not go along with your?
Very good. So in other words,
Demand.
let's take out all emotion. I'm gonna make the question a little bit different, but all emotion.
Right.
And so what are they saying? Are they saying the old fashioned, well, we can't afford it, or are they saying, well, we can do it, but it'll take 5 years to get there? I mean, what are they saying?
So
If you could tell us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's been publicly out there is what they have offered when we were at the bargaining table with them. Obviously, we put out that we want a $23 minimum wage. Their first offer was 50 cents.
50 cents more?
50 cents.
From 16.50 to 17.
Yes.
50 cents.
So
50 cents times 40 hours. That's $20.
Right. So
That's barely a latte. And I don't drink coffee, but I don't know how much lattes cost. But you know what? That's like two or
lot
three
more than
lattes, right? I mean, come on.
yeah. So we're just way far apart, and that just fueled, the fire within the workers to take these actions, right? And then, they've moved up to a whole dollar since then, and
So they went from 16.50 to
7
16, and now it's 17.50.
right.
Did I get it right?
That was the last. Yeah, that was
Okay.
like the last publicly, announced.
Okay, but to Barry's
proposal.
question,
Yeah.
what are they saying is why they can't do 23?
I mean, yeah, it's the same common arguments that we don't have the money that's gonna blow up our budget. Basically, they costed it out that it would be like tens of millions of dollars for this contract if we passed it the way that we proposed it. But that's what a negotiation is for. I mean, we put out our boldest proposal and we work from there. But when you start at 50 cents and we're at 23, I mean, we're
Yep.
so far apart. So
And if it really is millions of dollars, that just goes to show how much y'all been underpaid all these years. I mean, that's what I hear. Barry, you got to follow up there. I didn't mean to paraphrase your question so much.
Yes, I do, because oftentimes the actual wage request increase gets lost. You're also demanding some benefits. If the healthcare costs damn near put General Motors out of business. So are you guys demanding benefits in addition to the raises, or is it just the raises itself?
no, we're looking for improvements in our benefits as well. We have, through the union, we were able to fight for very good healthcare coverage. Couple contracts ago before my
Right.
time, but
But are you looking for to Barry's question, are you looking for increased health care benefits or
of the cost, we want to lower the cost. We want to lower costs for, especially for the family health care, because that's where the company is like, that's where we, most of the workers need family health care because it's not just single people that work there. And those are the biggest costs out of people's paychecks. So we're looking to lower the costs for family health care especially.
But would that require them to get a different plan?
No, we want to keep our plan, but we want the company to cover more.
So I see. Well, it may be too complicated right now for you to say things like how much they cover or not.
Yeah.
But how much are you looking for them to go higher than? Another, I'm making it up, $50 a week? I mean, just in general.
I mean, I don't really have those.
I understand.
One, but like I said, it's a negotiation. So we have a proposal, and we're looking for a decent counter, and like, let's work our way to.
Have they come back with
work our way through
anything
it.
on the healthcare benefit side?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
There's still a lot of, I know we're talking a lot about economics, but there's a lot of non-economic issues too that have, that we've yet to hear responses from them on. And that's a lot, things around seniority, right? Or things around, non-discrimination,
Right.
basic respect issues. There's a lot of things that are just as important for the workers.
Well, you know what I'd like to do? Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Like safety issues as well. And
Golly, safety. We're still talking about safety issues?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's almost like, what have we not accomplished then from the Great Depression and all the great union fights we've always had? Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have y'all again because I feel like I shortchanged this subject because this is an important subject. It's important for Houston, but now I get it. It's important to the labor market, the labor movement as a whole. And so I did my part. I saw it earlier. My name appeared somewhere up there. I'm happy to do that. I'm going to talk to you to see how we might be able to get you back, if that's okay. For sure.
Of course.
And so right now it appears, I don't want to say this, but there's no end in sight, right?
Well, right now we just extended our strike.
Okay, to when?
Until the 12th, October 12th. So that's in
Another 2 weeks.
2 weeks-ish, yeah. So we'll see what happens in those 2 weeks.
Well, then I need to get you back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you guys back.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. Is there anything you want to say to Houston or Harris County? Just talk right there in that camera. Tell us, what does it mean to you?
I mean, nobody out here is trying to get rich. Obviously, we just want to be able to support our families and be able to even have time off from work. We don't want to live to work. We want to be able to work to enjoy and live our lives. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Amen to that. How humble can that possibly be than that? My goodness. Anything you want to say to Houston, Harris County?
The support that we've had over the last month almost has been amazing from the press, from people like yourself and the community come out. So we have another 2 weeks. We're out here till the 12th, so stop by the picket line. Anyone is welcome to support. Like Brian said, workers are what make these record profits and what make our great city a great place to visit. And so we just feel that the workers need they're fighting for their fair share and they deserve it.
Amen. You know what? There you go. I'm going to take a quick selfie here before I get in. My good friends here, just give me a second here. You can tell we rehearsed this, or you can tell we did not rehearse this. But we are gonna unite here. Let me. Here we go.
Okay.
Come on. We are uniting right here. All right, Houston, Harris County. Thank you guys very much for being here. I'm going to have you back, okay?
Yes,
I'll have my team call you. Let me get you guys, Robin, over here. So Houston, Harris County, let's give it up again for Unite Here. Because, it takes a lot of courage for people to say, we're not going to work. We are going to be so principled in our lives and how we feel that we just think it's not right and we're not going to work. And so I just want to give it up to them because that takes enormous courage. So I'm going to bring back my team because this is, again, we've been talking a lot about all the different transit and everything else. So welcome to the show back to my friends that were here last week. Tell us again what happened at the Metro board meeting.
So Good morning, everybody. Last Thursday was the Metro Board meeting for September, where they voted to approve their budget for fiscal year 2026. Over the past summer, we have been trying to draw attention to the Metro budget process. We've had record public participation in the Metro budget process.
Let's go ahead and cut the music there, producer. Keep going, keep going.
We've had record participation in the Metro budget process. Scores, I think it was about 70 people over the course of the summer who came out to speak about how they wanted Metro to run more frequent service, to build more shelters and sidewalks, and not to spend such a large portion of their budget on city streets. But at last week's board meeting, they just went ahead and approved the same budget they'd been talking about all summer.
You know, it's for someone who bleeds Metro blue, right? And that's me when I was Metro chairman. And of course, we did all these incredible things, and we passed a referendum that was historic. And we passed it with almost 80% of the vote to get more money to Metro. And for Houston, for you to get a sense, we were going to go from, well, let me take a step back, Houston, Harris County. And of course, I wrote a big op-ed, and this is a little before, and I couldn't get the Chronicle to print it. Well, thank you, Houston Chronicle, because I'm just going to tell everybody right here. Going back in the day, Houston set up Metro in all the cities. Some voted to be part of it, some did not. And there are 13 cities like Humble, Westview, Katy, Missouri City, etc. And they taxed themselves 1 penny of the sales tax to go to mass transit. And Bob Lanier became mayor, and the city was going through a difficult time, and they had already built up almost $500 million or so to do some rail. And at that time, we're talking in the 90s, the federal government would match for every $1 that Metro would put in, or any transit agency, they would put in $4. Amazing. And what did they do? Well, he took all the money, all $500 million, and did it to pay for police. And further, he took 1/4 of the sales tax away from Metro permanently. So when you hear all these Metro haters and people say, well, how come we don't have a better system? And how come we don't go to the airport? Well, that's why. Because Metro was meant to have 1 penny and was meant to get all these federal matching dollars, and they took 1/4 away permanently. And then, of course, now, because the federal government is essentially broke, the match is now only $1 for $1 instead of $4 for $1. And then, of course, what we did, because we wanted to get more money for Metro, we got that 25%. Over time, it would start ratcheting down to 19. And then Karen Patman, who was chairman after me, got it further. She extended it even further, and that 19 would go down to approximately 12. Now, both sides would get more money because sales tax is growing, but we would be paying less than that 25%. So more money would be going to what it was meant to be, which is for transit. And we had all these great ideas and all these things to connect, etc. And now Metro just ignored the will of the voters and is now using the money for more roads. Wah, wah, wah. And that's terrible. I just want to, I don't know if I want to scream or I want to cry. How do you feel, Robert? You've been working on transit. You've been a transit activist for a long time. I mean, how do you feel? What does that do to you?
So I'm frustrated. I'm also energized. There's a saying that applies to a lot of things. That, for example, like when you talk about organizing and civic work, that we're never more than one generation away from losing the good stuff that prior generations fought for. And I feel that way too right now when we think about our city's transportation network and good things that have happened and made it better. But a lot of people sort of receive it as is and have no idea how we got to where we are. And it's time for all of us to learn that our streets have to do multiple things. Like imagine right now, maybe you're a car driver. That's cool. I drive a car too. I do all the things. I ride buses, I ride bikes, I walk places, I drive, I do all the things. Maybe all you ever do is drive. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I want you to think for just a minute now. Maybe you drive on or near Main Street. what would happen to your drive if the 34,000 people a day who ride the Main Street rail line, what would happen to your drive if they were driving too?
It'd be terrible. And what would happen to your air quality? And what you can go on and on. What would happen to traffic accidents?
Exactly.
Just every lost
Exactly.
productivity.
Now, the same thing is true. Imagine that you commute daily on the Southwest Freeway or the Katy Freeway or the North Freeway. There are thousands and thousands of people who've chosen they didn't want to drive anymore, or maybe they couldn't drive, and they ride park and ride buses. What would happen to your commute if all of those people had no choice but to drive?
Oh, it would double. It'd be double. And, you know, people don't understand, for all the haters, and we know that it's all the same people, Bill King, et cetera. You know, it's all the same people. At the end of the day, Paul Magaziner was another one. God rest his soul. You know, they talk about all these things. We would never be able to do the World Cup, the World Series. We would never be able to have the rodeo. The rodeo couldn't function without the Metro Rail taking people there back and forth. How many of you tried to go to the rodeo during the rodeo in the evenings on 610 or 59? It's paralyzed. Go ahead.
So here's the thing that's interesting about that. A lot of people say, well, I'm not going to drive. I'm not sure Houstonians will drive. I want to make it clear, we're not talking about getting lots and lots of people to shift. There was some really interesting research done when Bill White was mayor, so 20 years ago now, right? And they looked at how do we make congestion better? And they had a program called Flex in the City, F-L-E-X. It's kind of clever. But what that research found was the difference between gridlock on our streets and freeways and things still moving is about 2% of the travelers. That's it. We only need 2% more people to say, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to bike or ride the bus or ride the train.
Flow going?
It's the margin. That's the difference between we're flowing and we're at a standstill.
No kidding.
2% shift is mode shift. Okay, so I don't need you to convince everybody to choose transit instead. We just need to make sure that transit works for that 2 to 3% who want to make the shift. So with that in mind, something interesting happened. We saw you a week ago.
Yes.
In the week between now and then, the city of Houston has disabled or changed the traffic signals on Main Street. So between downtown and the Texas Medical Center, there's this really important transit corridor where a bunch of people choose transit. A week ago, Houston Public Works disabled transit signal preemption for the train, which means the Main Street rail line is now sitting at red lights, just like the people who chose to drive.
That's unbelievable.
Last week, you could walk from Downtown Transit Center to Preston Station in the same amount of time it took to ride the train.
I mean, and who makes that decision? I mean, do we know? Other than the mayor, right? But
what we know is it came from the city administration. That's what we know so far.
And what would possibly be the reason to do such a thing? Other than you want to make it fail, right? I mean, what could possibly be the reason?
Well, I don't want to speculate about what drove them, but what I know is if I'm a major downtown employer or a med center employer, and I want my people to come to work or get where they're going or get their health care on time, I need the transit system to be dependable.
Yes.
Turning off these signals has made the Main Street line just as unpredictable as the mixed traffic running right next to it.
And there'd be no benefit. In other words, normally when you make a move like that, there's got to be some sort of benefit. Like, why would you even do it? It was working fine, and people loved it. As someone who knows the reason the rail, and I remember we crossed 100 million boardings several years ahead of schedule. And it doesn't even go anywhere when you really think about it. It's not like DART, which goes into all the, suburbs and everything else. But the point is, the reason it's so successful is, I forgot if the headways are 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. But every 6 minutes, if you're running and I missed a train, you don't have to say, I wonder when it's going to come. In 6 minutes it'll be there. Well, why would anyone change that? Remind me your first name again, because they gave me a different name of someone that was going to be
That's
here.
all right. My name's Peter.
Peter. Craig, I had a different name, and that's why I said, Okay.
I can help
Okay.
with that. So
Yeah.
Peter's our director of policy and planning
Okay,
at
no.
Link Houston, and he's been on point gathering our information and helping us know
Yeah.
what's happening downtown right now and how can people respond to
Well,
that.
let me say, Peter, then, what do you think happened? It sounds like there's a motive. Now, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, and it sounds like there's a motive around the vote and the whole budget. I mean, these things don't just happen coincidentally. You don't just like flip a switch, right?
I don't want to speculate too much on exactly
What or how-
who is behind this. All I know is that red line trips for 34,000 trips per day on the red line are delayed on average about 10 minutes. You multiply that, that's about 5,600 hours of wasted time for everybody.
Well, not
Per,
to,
per day.
Per day.
But
We're
no-
wasting 5,600
Mm-hmm.
extra pointless hours per day sitting in traffic on the train.
not to mention, people are going to say, "Well, damn it, it's not convenient anymore," and they're not going to ride it.
Exactly. And while metro ridership, like we brought up in last week's show, has been steadily increasing since the pandemic and is largely fully recovered on the local bus network, the light rail network still has not recovered all of its ridership.
Right.
And over the past few years, 2024 to 2025, has remained relatively flat. There is no way we are going to recover that ridership and draw in more people to ride the red line if we are actively sabotaging it.
Right. I like that phrase, actively, not I like it, I dislike it, but I like how you framed it, actively sabotaging it. Well, let me ask you, so how was I know you want to say something, go.
Well, so if the question is what happens next, right?
Okay.
So we have agency. People who ride transit and people who drive but appreciate that some other people have the option of transit
Right.
can act right now. So right now, if that bothered me, I would open a City of Houston 311 service helpline ticket and say, the downtown transit signals are messed up. Like, fix this problem. I think it's really important for this administration to hear from people, not just activists like me. One of the things that we've heard a lot in the last year is that I may want to come and tell your story, but that my voice doesn't count as much because I'm just a paid activist. So it's really important over the weeks ahead that people who feel this pain directly share their stories with the mayor, with their Houston City Council member, and also file complaints with Metro.
Amen to that. Well, let's come back, so Peter, though, if you don't mind. Sure. So were you at the budget meeting and when it passed?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any dissent? Did anyone say, well, I don't know, whatever happened to the referendum? Did anyone even say such a thing? Any of those board members?
There was a little bit of discussion at the end of the public comments. There was some referencing. There were 3 op-eds and editorials in the paper in the Houston Chronicle last week related to this. One from my colleague Nick Arcos, one from Bill King, and then one from the editorial board.
Well, I didn't see Bill's. What does he say now?
Some referencing that basically don't listen to the transit advocates and that all of this stuff is already in the referendum, which I think that we take some issue with. There are huge parts of the referendum that are sitting on the shelf, and a lot of the streets that they've selected for repaving were never once mentioned in the referendum and either have no or minimal bus service.
I mean, the whole point is everyone knows. Come on, Bill, you know better. At the end of the day, we got the red line is very successful. I know the extensions have been, I don't know the right word, but haven't been as successful as the red line. And then we got the bus rapid transit. Everyone knows the system is incomplete till you connect them. Come on, that's enough already. You got to connect them, and you got to connect them right away. Until then, you're not going to get, mass transit working, and you're going to have nothing but a sea of cars all over 59, 610, the Galleria, and we all know it. But keep going. Oh, we have is that a Katie? Katie, are you there, Katie?
Yes, hi.
Hello, Katie. You got me, Gilbert Garcia, with a tip from me.
Hi, yes, I just had a question for your 2 guests regarding the Metro. So I was wondering with these board meetings, is there any chance that the public can participate and, ask questions as needed?
Well, there's a couple of things. When I was first Metro chair, one of the things was Metro had no transparency. And we cleaned that up right away. Guess what we did, Katie? We put all meetings live on the internet. It was unheard of. No one's ever done that. And are you ready for this? All the committee meetings live on the internet. And we had real committee meetings. Before, there were really no committee meetings. And so if things just happened, no one knows how or when, but behind closed doors. But we had real committee meetings, and sometimes they would last an hour, 2 hours, and all the materials we put on the website. And so you could address the board, and I forgot the rule if it's a minute or 2 minutes, but I would let people talk. My view was, if people are coming out of their day to come address the Metro Board, we have at least an obligation to hear them. The other thing I did is I put it at the beginning, because what used to happen is they used to put them at the end, and so people in the audience would have to wait and wait and wait to be able to say a few minutes. And I just didn't think that was fair. But what do you think there, Peter? Or Robin? Both y'all, jump in.
The Metro Board meets twice a month. They have their full board meeting typically on the fourth Thursday at 9 a.m. If you sign up.
October 24th.
So October 24th
will be the next board meeting.
of October. You sign up 48 hours in advance by emailing boardoffice@ridemetro.org. They also have committee meetings usually the week before, either on a Wednesday or a Thursday, posted to the website. And we encourage everyone who has something to say about Metro to come and speak directly to the decision makers of Metro themselves.
If you could just do me a favor, could you get me those 3 op-eds? Remember, I spoke to them, and I'm going to submit something. I haven't had a chance because, my daughter went to college. I took her in, and we've been all Chicago, and I've been crying on the side because that's my last child and my only girl. And come on, I got to admit it. I miss you, Juju. Call me. Anyways, but I'm going to write something, right? I had something before, and I would submit it, and they wouldn't print it. But I think they'll print it now because there's some leadership changes there. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're not interrupting. I'm good. So absolutely going forward, we spent all summer helping people sort of get plugged into the budget process and be ready for the vote in September. But that's just the beginning. That's not the end. The Metro Board meets every month. And there are things that people should talk about. We need more frequent service. We need more reliable service. We need more accessible service. One of the things that is really great is you don't have to physically get yourself downtown to participate in the board meeting anymore. You can send your email, by Monday morning before 9 a.m. and sign up if you want to go in person. But you can also participate online. That Metro, not every agency does this, but Metro will let you participate virtually as long as you sign up by Monday morning.
How wonderful. How wonderful. Well, at the end of the day, the most important thing they should do is listen to the will of the voters twice. And so for all the haters out there, at the end of the day, the people have spoken. Why don't you listen to the people? They want transit, and they talked about it, and they want the whole robust plan implemented. And they want to quit this fighting and all this we're fighting old fights from the 90s and in the 80s. It is time. Especially if you want to pull off a major events like the World Cup. It'll be paralyzed in this city. I'm going to give you the last 3 minutes here. Are you ready for this? We're already out of time. I want you to say the last words here. And how can people get involved with your organization? Where do y'all meet? Or how can they go to your website and really go through it all? And I want to remember that I want to say thank you to Comcast 97, AT&T 99, Phonoscope 96, Suddenlink 99, HMSTV.org, because they are now showing me every Saturday at 7 p.m. And if you want some great carne guisada, go to Taqueria, Laredo Taqueria, excuse me, because they have the best carne guisada. And you know what? I'm going to be getting some probably today. Go ahead, guys. You got the last word.
Great. Thanks, Gilbert, for having us, and thanks everyone for listening once again to Link Houston. If you're fired up about public transit and making it better in Houston and Harris County, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love for you to get involved with us. You can log on to linkhouston.org and join our Community Action Network and get plugged into our events.
Robin?
Thanks so much for having us. We are growing because there is a crisis around transit in our city, and lots of people have something to say about it. So come find us, linkhouston.org.
And Houston, Harris County, remember, Link Houston is one of these groups that, don't listen to those haters. At the end of the day, these are not people that are, what are they trying to call us now? Tree huggers? These are rational people. They're engineers. They're professionals. They understand things, and they really get what is going on, which is we are paralyzed with traffic. We are paralyzed in our air quality, and they recognize that things are only going to get more expensive and get worse. And we have the funds. Metro has the funds to make these improvements now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gilbert Garcia saying we'll see you next time. All right, Houston, Harris County, this is Gilbert Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, Talk, Inspiration, and Prayer. We're going to now be on television. We will air every Saturday on Comcast 17, AT&T Channel 99, Phonoscope Channel 96, Suddenlink 99, and also hmstv.org. Every new episode every Saturday at 7 p.m. And follow me on social media. See you then.